Let's see. Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
Great. Sorry, I just hopped on. I was like,
No, you're
I'm
good.
up in like upstate New York this weekend, so I'm like, I hope my service and everything is gonna be okay. But so far, I had to do something else on another live, and I was like, okay, everything's good. We're good.
Awesome.
Hi,
Well,
everyone.
yeah, I'll just give everyone a little bit to get on. But how was your Valentine's Day?
It was so nice. We were up here, so really quiet, but a really a nice time. So, how about you?
Good. I was just telling them, or the people that were on here, but I just kind of had a chill day, but it was
Oh,
nice. So,
I love it.
yeah,
It's funny because it's always like my favorite holiday, and I know like sometimes that's so weird, but like I don't know, I just feel like it's like such a like happy day. I mean, with or without someone, I've been in both situations, and
yeah.
I'm like I like it.
And
It's
especially like I guess like the last like 5 years, it's been big about Galentine's and all of that
yes,
too.
yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, that's been exciting just to like see that like kind of grow
Yeah.
because like I would say like what like maybe 4 years ago that wasn't like really a thing. So
No, and it's so funny because I have a little niece, she's 5, and she came home. My sister was telling me she came home the other day. Me and my sister were going out with friends, and she's like, "Oh, are you going out for Galentine's?" And I'm like, "You're 5." I'm like, there was no such thing as Galentine,
exactly.
Galentine.
Yeah. So but it's like it's
Funny.
really exciting to like see
It
that and
is.
kind of
I
get away
like it.
from
I think it's
the
so nice. I
yeah,
think it
get
is.
away from like the typical like boyfriend
Exactly.
kind of
It's
stereotype.
not. It's like doesn't have to be that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Exactly.
funny. Yeah.
Well, how was New York Fashion Week?
I mean, it was great. It's you know what? It's funny because the last few years, because of COVID and everything, it was a little, it wasn't happening, and then a lot of things have changed. And I think you can finally see it now. And it's something I wanted to talk about. I was like taking some notes just like throughout the week,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's finally back to where like before it was very simple, very like the clothing wasn't too wow. A lot of people were still staying home, so the designers were kind of catering to that whole like at home vibe.
Yeah.
And now like this past like spring shows and these just that happened, which are the fall shows for 2024, a lot more color, fur, vibrant, playful, fun. I think it's like I've been hearing a lot of the word like maximalism, where it's like we were so like simple and basics, and now it's like everyone's ready to be like put it all on. you know?
Yeah, with all of just like the basics, like everyone was like, okay, let me stock up on my basics and
Yes.
wear like these like Skims kind of like just like plain
Exactly.
shirts and
Yeah.
yeah.
And now
Yeah.
it's like really transitioning, and I mean we're seeing it already, but the runways for fall really like I mean I there's like this 80s kind of vibe to it. If you think of like the 80s and like the super like colorful business suits that women wore,
Yeah.
and like they layered with like big, even if it's like faux fur, the big furs, and they always had tons of jewelry on and like big sunglasses, all of that. I think that's what like is coming back around, and that's what was on a lot of the runways this season. So it's interesting to see that because I haven't seen that in a while. It has not been like that at all.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
definitely exciting just because yeah, you can just put on all of these accessories and everything and just like yeah, again,
yeah,
like maximize your look.
and I
So
like that. Like I dressed a lot like that, and even me through these last few years, it was hard because like you were home more, you kind of were in, so you didn't put all your stuff. You just got in a habit of not really wearing a lot of things, and now I'm like, wow, we're going back to that. I'm putting my heels back on again, and I'm getting a little bit more dressed up and. Even like I mean I know you probably see it so much with jewelry, but really like a lot of rings, like layering like all your fingers with rings, and what different colors that they're wearing. I mean, that I think is a really good place to start if you wanted to incorporate more of this like maximalism kind of look,
yeah,
but a little bit like, I don't know if I could do it in my clothing. So they,
yeah,
do it with your accessories. I think I like that personally, is to really accessorize and, have the more statement jewelry pieces, belts and bags and shoes. That I think is amazing.
yeah.
So
So what do you think about summer? Is it gonna be like minimalistic or you think it's gonna be full on maximal
I
like
I think for summer, just going by, so the spring New York Fashion Week runway for
Yeah.
spring was in September. And I know that's a little, I kind of mentioned to you, it's a little confusing to people sometimes if you're not, kind of like in it. It's like, wait a minute. So now they're showing fall and it's just always a season
Yeah.
ahead. So we already saw spring, kind of know what's coming out for it. I think there's going to be a lot more, spring and summer, there's not as many layers. Clothing
Yeah.
is a little less. We're not able to layer as much. So I think in that fact, we're doing more like colors and sheer fabrics, flowy fabrics, fabrics that feel loose on the body. If you are layering, you're layering with like lighter weight pieces like
Yeah.
silk. The color for 2024 is peach fuzz, so it's a lighter pastel color, and that color I think for spring and summer you're going to see it everywhere. Swimsuits, you'll see it in really cute dresses, and it looks nice. I think it's nice to take a color that we haven't really seen that often and be able to incorporate it into your wardrobe a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Especially, I think that's the peach fuzz is perfect for summer. Just everyone's tan,
Yes.
It's that pop of color that like I feel like we've been looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, like a bag that's like a peach
Yes.
fuzz or
Shoes.
yeah.
I mean that's especially if I know that color. I have like some friends that were like, oh, I can't wear that color. My skin's too pale. I always say it doesn't have to be the exact color. Look for a color in that tone that does work. Like hold it up to your skin and see how it looks and go a little darker, go a little bit lighter, go with more of a blue undertone or a red undertone. That's how you'll suit your skin color a little bit better. But overall, I think those more like peaches and greens and like pink. Last summer was pink, but I think pink is still around to stay, and they're good colors to really incorporate for summer. And then look for like I'm seeing a lot of sheer fabrics, which I know can be a little like, how do I wear those? But those are really good for layering in the summer because they're so lightweight.
Yeah.
So you can put like if your top is like a white sheer top and you wanted to put that peach fuzz color underneath it, such a good way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good way to wear it for sure.
So I was looking and I saw, what do you think about floral in the spring? And is that still going to be something that we're going to be seeing a lot? And
I think we're seeing it. I think I've been noticing it in like different pattern ways, if that makes sense. I wish I could like show you pictures of it because like not so much of like these big bold like all different color flowers on a dress or something, but I think you'll see like the pattern but all in the same color. So it'll be like a muted kind of flower look to it, or if you see it, it'll be like smaller sized flowers on the piece, something like
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have one more question about just kind of, so I don't know if you've seen this bow trend.
I have, and I have it. It's I have these notes. It's everywhere, and I think it's staying.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, do you think this is staying, or if this is just kind of a fad? So you think this is gonna stay for a little bit?
I think it's gonna stay for a few more seasons. I think you have to think about size and how it's worn. That's where it's gonna change. So. Maybe like for the longest time the bow we're just like clipping it in our hair, wearing our hair with it, and that was it. Now it's being we're seeing it embroidered on clothing. I saw it on a few runways. Even like button details on clothing are bows. So it's like new ways of incorporating that trend, but I do think it's going to stay because it's super feminine. I think we're like women, we're attracted to that kind of side of things. It's playful, it's fun, it's bringing more of that that carefree feeling, which the peach fuzz, like the way that color was explained is the way I think like bows are. So they explained the reason why peach fuzz was the color of the season was because we're trying to be more playful and we want the energy to be less heavy and not so like feel like so stuck. And I think bows and even like crystals and sequins and sparkly stuff, I think all of that is what everyone's looking for, is that like light, easy feeling. If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. And I think like as kids and stuff, wearing these bows just made us feel like very cutesy. And so like bringing that into kind of like our adult world and just like putting them like the little small bows on I've seen it on shoes, backs of shirts and dresses, and just I love it. I do too. I think it's super cute. So I'm excited to see how it's gonna be used throughout.
I think think you'll see it a lot. I love it still in the hair. I
Yeah.
think it still is gorgeous. I've seen it on like rings, some rings in the shape of bows too, earring bows, necklace, you know, like jewelry with it. I've seen a lot of, I think even like it in like on shoes, like I've seen like the front details on shoes with bows. So I always say, and it's always been like a running theme for me, is don't get stuck or hung up on having to do any trends from head to toe.
Yeah.
You don't have to, they don't have to be your clothing. You look for it in a piece that you really enjoy wearing, you know, like if it's something that you like and can find it in that, you know, in a shoe or in your jewelry or something, wear it that way. Don't feel like you have to do this like whole head to toe trend all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't, you don't have to at all.
That's great advice, because I know some people are like, oh, I want to keep up with the trends, but I don't want to have to buy a new wardrobe.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like
exactly.
like I've even seen some people just like making their own little bows out of ribbon and like clipping them to the back of their jeans or something like that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you just reminded me, because I saw someone made for Valentine's Day these candles. They made them themselves with little bows on them.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, it is so nice to be able to take a trend from a runway or from fashion and then bring it into other parts of your life.
Yeah.
You know, like I think it's nice to say to take inspiration and use it in other ways. So you can be inspired by something and then bring that into your life in the way that feels most comfortable for you. So like if you don't want to wear a bow in your hair and you can't stand it, then maybe cute candles on your table is the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, if you want to stay in your means of like what you're comfortable wearing, yeah, go for it. That's definitely
exactly.
Yeah.
I like that.
So what do you, because I know each year kind of has its like signature style, or what do you think kind of this year is going to be like a staple of like, okay, that was a 2024 kind of thing?
Yeah, I think I would say longer. Last summer there was like longer skirts. I think we're going to still see that trend happening.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go a little bit more feminine, because there was a masculine undertone a lot, even with like the more of the pants, the baggier pants that we were wearing, more of the suit styles. I think you'll still see it, but with a feminine side to it. I think we're going to end at the end of 2024. My prediction will be that this was the year that everybody remembers everything turned super feminine and, you know, like dressing your best, I would say. Where before it was like simple, and now it's like you defined and found your own style. I think everyone's getting tired of, I don't want to say trends, but feeling like they have to, like, everyone's wearing this or everyone's wearing that. I think 2024 you're really going to see a transition from people following trends to finding their own personal style.
That makes total sense. And so do you think that's going to be done more in color, or
I do think color. I think right now, I mean, from what I'm seeing, there's a lot more bold colors. There were so many neutrals for so long. I know it's a lot harder to mix in color. I even did my own challenge on Instagram. I've been doing like each day trying to incorporate more color into my wardrobe, because I was realizing that so much stuff I was wearing was so neutral and like look like the same outfit every day. So I'm like, okay, how can I take what I'm wearing, what I love, but then add a color in that kind of brings the outfit more, makes it a more playful style. So I've been adding every day, trying to add, whether it's my shoes or a bag or a top or a skirt, adding more color in. So I definitely think you're going to see that a lot for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely what I have struggled with. I love neutrals. So,
I know.
And just like adding pops of color is like, I'm like, oh, does this actually match this?
I know, or does this look good?
Yeah.
I know.
I'm like, let me just go back to the black and browns. And
exactly. It's a little scary. For sure.
So for New York Fashion Week, what was like specific metals or gemstones that you were seeing?
That is so okay. So I have on my notes molten metals.
Okay.
So see if I could explain it in a way. If you think of like metal melting and that almost like glossy look that it gets when it melts, it sort of like looks smoother. That is what we're seeing, like if you're thinking of textures of metals. And then also playing with both tones. There's no, for so long it was like gold, 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 that's it, just wear gold. Now I'm seeing a lot more of that white gold and silvers coming into play, and really mixing metals. So like it's okay if your handbag has gold hardware and you're wearing silver jewelry. It's okay if, you know, your belt has gold on it and the rest of your look is silver. It's totally okay to do that. My suggestion is, if to make yourself feel comfortable, is like, let's say you're wearing a watch, do a two-tone watch, because that helps without having to like do the work. It does it for you.
Yeah.
Same with like earrings. I know I've seen like a lot of like twisted style earrings where there's like gold and silver mixed in. It's like a cheating kind of way to do the trend without having to figure out, like, does this make sense? Is it okay if my earrings are silver and my rings are gold, you know, something like that. Find pieces that already have it mixed for you. So much easier.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that a lot in engagement rings, like the mixed metal as well. And
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I really like it because, one, if you have kind of a setting with like a white gold and then the rest of your ring is rose or it's yellow, it kind of enhances the look
It
of the.
does. Yeah.
But then
Yeah. And I'm
also, it's like the what you said with the watch. Like if you wanted to wear white gold this day or rose gold or yellow gold, like it kind of matches whatever
yes.
you're wearing. So
Exactly. It's perfect. It's like you don't have to do the work. You don't have to think about it. It figures it out for you. I love gemstones in general, and if we're thinking about jewelry, like kind of, you know, what the trends will be, and since we're seeing so much color,
yeah,
such a good way to play with
it
color
is.
is with rings. Um Stacking them up, having, you know, a few different ones in different colors. That's so fun. And honestly, if you're still into wearing like a whole neutral outfit, but then your jewelry is
Yeah.
layered and you go like maximum on the jewelry, that is honest. You could probably do the whole trend throughout the year with just your jewelry and nothing else,
Yeah.
and still look like you've updated your wardrobe.
Yeah, definitely. Gemstones is the way to do it with color and just getting those pops what you're looking for. So,
I like it
yeah,
a lot.
that's perfect. So, what do you think you're going to be incorporating like throughout the year? Like, what are some staple things that you're gonna incorporate, and what's some things that you're gonna stay away from this year?
I've already added a few more sheer items to my wardrobe. Like I said, I've added some color.
Yeah,
I've been really working hard at adding more color. Um, that's definitely. I'm hoping like in the next few months, and I have a better time with adding color in spring and summer than I do in the fall. Fall, I just tend to wear darker, more neutral tones. So I
yeah,
think for summertime it'll be a lot easier to wear color. But I want to go bold. I want to go like statement. I've been really upping my jewelry game and kind of adding in more accessories. I tend to do a lot of rings. I have necklaces that I kind of keep on. My earrings usually stay pretty the same, but I love like rings. I think those for me are the accessory that I like to use, and belts. I'm
yeah,
getting into belts, and I just feel like they finish an outfit. They really do. Like, you can have on, if you want to do your basic t-shirt and jeans, like even a blazer, but you put a belt on, it suddenly like elevates it and gives it a new look. So I think for me that'll be how I really incorporate some of the trends into my wardrobe, is with a lot of accessories, and then some bolder color clothing, and the sheer pieces. I think those are the top four things I'll probably be doing.
yeah. I love belts. It like separates your look too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It's like it enhances it, so it's good.
What What are some things you're just like gonna stay away from this year that you're like? Is there anything?
So I think I've had a I mean, I'm short. I'm like 5'2", so I'm not very tall. And I've always had trouble with like pants, like baggier style
Yeah,
pants and jeans. I've bought a few. I've tried to really incorporate them into my wardrobe, but I'm like praying that we can get away from it. Not that I want skinny jeans at all. I just like a nice straight leg, like
yeah,
just a little bit more where like for so long it's like big sweatshirts and big jeans and baggy and sneakers, and like we lost our shape, and
yes,
I want to get more into that, so I'm staying away from, not that I wore it so much out, but I did pants, and I tried trying to get that out of my wardrobe. um I want to do more. I want to really start to look for pieces that are not like throwaway
yeah,
pieces,
yeah,
but gonna last. So
yeah,
I'm trying, and it's always hard for me because I love to wear trends.
yeah,
I try not. I'll go more expensive on like shoes and bags and belts and things that are gonna wear multiple a lot.
yeah.
And I struggle with buying. You know, I do more fast fashion, and I'm trying to stop the fast fashion and do more like luxury, better quality pieces that last me a lifetime. So if I am buying sweaters now, I'm looking for ones that I like can wear year after year, night in. So I'm staying away a little bit from the fast fashion, but I think like item wise, it's probably the baggy, super baggy jeans I'm getting rid of. I'm over like the chunky sneakers. I can't do it anymore. I'm like, okay, I did it. I played with it. I had fun. That was it. I'm done. They're out of my wardrobe. I'd say those are probably the two biggest items that I'm like, I'm over.
I completely agree. Yeah, definitely looking for more figures in my whatever I'm wearing. And so the baggy isn't doing
it doesn't do anything. And every time I put it on, I'm like, oh my God, I don't look good in this, but like it's in right now. And if I try to put on stuff, like I don't want to look like I'm like out of style.
Yeah.
So like,
no, I completely get it. Yeah.
It's a very hard thing.
So I have another question for you. So what is your favorite season to dress in? Because I know you said like summer.
I don't have to, it's like not even a thought for me. I literally stand in my closet and I'm like, in the winter, I'm like, I don't like any, and it goes against most fashion people because most fashion people love fall winter because of the layers and you can really style outfits. Like it's their favorite season. And every time it comes around, I'm like, I don't want to put a scarf, a coat, a sweater. Like you can, it does give you style because of the layers, but I love summer. Like I love the carefree, easy dressing, waking up, putting on like a cute skirt, a nice pair of shoes that like look good, a top that matches, accessorizing, and I'm out the door. Like I love it, but like you have to really think about your outfit. And like for me, I struggle because I want the whole outfit to look complete. So for winter, I'm like, I feel like I need a coat with every outfit that I'm wearing. And I feel like I need, everything has to, so I'm like, there's too many layers to think about. It's just,
that's true.
Yeah.
And then you also have to think about warmth.
Yes.
Too. So
I have like a million layers on to stay warm. I'm like, it's so bulky. But it is something most fashion people love. They love fall. They love it. I'm just the opposite. I'm like, give me summer, give me lightweight clothing. I'll dress that up. I'll make that look styled.
No, that was definitely surprising. I thought you were gonna say like fall and winter because you can't add so many
layers.
But that does make sense that you're just like I want to put my accessories and
And that's where like I always feel like I'll in the fall winter like I'll accessorize, but then like half the time you're in a coat and you don't see any of it. Like how do you see some of the good stuff that you're wearing? When you're covered up. So I tend to. I just like summer. I think it's just the weather and everything. So it's nice.
So I was kind of watching a little bit of some New York Fashion Week and stuff, and what I was seeing a lot of, honestly, was like these like power suits and like
There's
talk a little bit about that and how that's gonna.
So I have so many notes. I do think that we're gonna see that like 80s power dressing make a comeback. But I think it's gonna be a little more feminine, a little more structured, not as loose fitting, not as more like that masculine. I think we're gonna go more feminine. Shoes are gonna get a little bit more feminine. I think if you're styling those like power suits, you wanna really fit them to your body and your shape. So get them tailored, make sure they fit you well. Don't wear them where it like if for so long it's been like just falling off your body. A lot of the suits have that look. And I think now we can get a little bit more tailored, put a heel on with them, make them look a little bit more dressed up. Everything doesn't have to be loose fitting. It can actually fit your body. And honestly, no matter what your body shape is, when clothing fits you and when you get it tailored to fit you, you look better. You just do. I know it's a harder thing to do. It's easier to wear it looser, but the more tailored looks when you do that do make your figure look better.
No, that makes sense because it's been like these like big baggy kind of blazers and
loose
wearing like,
loose pants, like
loose pants. It's like your face just gonna get kind of like I guess tighter and like more, that makes sense.
I think it's gonna get a little more fitted. You're gonna see the suits. I think this is a good way to also look at it, talking about like a lot of color and more playful. So think of the suits, but think of like an office party look. So not so like corporate look, but more like, all right, I'm getting dressed for my office party. So that's like a fun way to play on it. So like, yes, we're doing the power suits, but we're wearing them to an office party, you know? So we're like, go a little bit shorter on the skirt maybe, or a little bit fitted on the pants. So like you see your shape and you see your waist. And maybe you're adding, you know, maybe you have the buttons with the bows on them, or a little bit of sparkle, something like that.
Definitely with the heels instead of like the tennis shoes and like all of that kind of that we're gonna be seeing. I definitely think heels is definitely the way to go.
Definitely, and they look gorgeous. Like when you put a pair of heels on with even their like looser, baggier pants, it looks so much better for sure. So.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think that's kind of like sums up my question. So I don't know I know you have tons of notes.
I do.
So
I'm like, you know, it's so funny because I feel like, I mean, we didn't even have a chance to we didn't talk that much about it. And like I don't know how, but you went down the line. Like my, it's so funny. My notes are like exactly what like you went down the line on. I will add chartreuse. The color chartreuse was another color that was really, I saw a lot more this season on the runway. And it's, chartreuse is like that yellowy green kind of color. And typical for more springtime, but it was on the fall runways. So that I thought was very interesting to see on the runways. Colorful leather too. A lot more leather with color, not necessarily just, you know, your blacks and browns, but a little bit more like, think like jewel tone leather. So like rich navy blues and deep reds and dark greens, like emerald green kind of color. If you feel confident to wear that, that's a really fun way to play with leather. Right now going into fall. The color orange, that was another color that I saw. So colors really played a role this season in fashion. I think that's what we're seeing, is that everybody was so tired of the neutrals that every designer was like, put color. I think that was,
I love it. Like I definitely, that's something I want to do this year, is just incorporate color into my look. So I think it's perfect to just kind of stay up with what everyone else is wearing.
Me too.
It is definitely just fun. Like waking up and getting dressed every day is going to be more exciting because you're like, oh, what color am I going to wear?
And like challenge yourself. Give your like, I'm doing it myself. Like challenge yourself just to see like, what can I add today that's going to just give me a little bit of pop? And it does. I've noticed that the more I've added color in, it's like I feel different. I feel like different throughout the day, even if it's just like a pair of shoes that are, you know, colorful, or my bag was colorful, things like that. I feel like I really noticed, and it's been so fun, like to see what I can do. Because I'm taking stuff out of my closet that I already have there. I didn't buy it, but I'm like, the stuff that sort of sits in my closet, I maybe wore it one time because it was like a pink sweater, and I'm like, oh, when am I going to wear this again? I'm like, how can I style this? What could I do? Can I put a collar shirt underneath it and pair it with a different pair of pants? You know, things like that. That's what I've been really kind of trying and challenging myself to do, which is a fun one to do. I'd love to see it. If anybody on here does it, tag me in it, and I would love to see it how everyone else is doing it too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. DawnDelRusso is starting a new challenge.
A new challenge.
For you guys. We got to come up with a name for that for you. Something with color, or adding, I don't know, changing up your wardrobe.
Or maybe we could do it with like each month, like the different color gemstones for each month. You know, like emerald for something like that. That would be fun too.
That would be really cool. Coming up with ideas on the live.
I know, right? I love it.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely think like color, if to sum up everything, color. So adding just any kind of color and just brightening up your looks, and then textures. So
textures, furs, leathers. I mean, it's funny because we're talking about next fall, and I know everyone else is probably thinking about what they're wearing into spring, but think about how you can incorporate that for spring. Like I said, the sheer, more lightweight fabrics, jewelry with a different tone jewelry, gold and silver. That's another, you know, a good way to work into spring and summer. You can add a lot of color for spring and summer, so that's big. Colors, different color metals, mixing metals. The power suits I think are still a thing, but get them, you know, fitted more to your shape and body. And maximize your wardrobe. Like, what can you do to really step it up and make it look, make more of a statement for yourself? I think that's what we're gonna say. So Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I had, Dawn. So thank you so much for joining J&M Jewelry. And we'll definitely be in touch. Maybe we'll do another one.
Yes, I'd love to.
But
yeah, we could talk about, you know, some more of the spring, you know, styling, the spring trends, and like that. So that would be fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, you too. I'll see you soon. Bye.